In this episode of 10 Best Ones, we are going to check out the top 5 best Razer mice in 2018. I made this list based on my personal opinion, and I tried to list them based on their price, quality, durability and more. If you want to see the price and find out more information about these Razer mice, you can check out the links down in the description and the comment section below. Okay, so, let's get started with the video. At number 5, we have the Razer Naga Epic Chroma. The Razer Naga Epic Chroma is a quality, gaming mouse that would be an ideal option for you, if you're an MMO gamer who wants to have its gaming experience elevated to a whole new level. That's why, let's get straight into the action and find out what's so special about it. Aesthetically speaking, this unit has an ergonomic, matte black textured construction that consists of 19 buttons, where each of them is strategically positioned with the intention to offer you a quick access and a quick maneuverability. On the top, you can find a left-click button, a rubberized scroll wheel, 2 buttons positioned beneath the scroll wheel, and a right-click button, while on the left side, there are 12 customizable buttons of which you can take an advantage and customize them according to your preferences. In addition, when you flip the mouse over, you can instantly notice the presence of the 8200 dpi 4G laser sensor, while at the inside, there is an integrated 32-bit ARM processor which will ensure a thunder-quick responsiveness exactly as you'd expect from a Razer product. Another great thing about this mouse is its ability to switch between wired or wireless mode, or even better said, when the battery goes completely down, you can simply plug the USB cable and keep playing with an impressive response rate of 1 millisecond. I would also like to mention that this mouse comes with a classic grip, palm grip and claw grip pads, so you can choose the one that matches your style the most without having to worry literally about anything. But that's not all. You can take an advantage of the Razer Synapse 2.0 software as well, through which you can customize the buttons, link individual profiles to specific games, but let's not also forget that gamers can tailor the color and brightness as well as to sync with a compatible Chroma keyboard. Last but not least, the battery life is rated at 20 hours of use, but this may vary in practice as you already know, since everything depends on your usage. To conclude, I strongly recommend you consider the Naga Epic Chroma, especially if you love playing MMO games. Moving on, at number 4, we have the Razer Mamba Hyperflux. The Razer Mamba Hyperflux has received an enormous positive feedback from the users on the market, mainly because of its ultra-lightweight and ergonomic construction that can satisfy even the most demanding customers on the market. Design-wise, this mouse sports a matte black, compact shape with a sloped back side, large rubber grips and a tall frame, which makes this unit ideal for right-handed users and for those who have a palm and claw grip style. On the top, there is a left-click button, a textured scroll wheel, a right-click button, 2 buttons positioned beneath the scroll wheel and a rear LED on the mouse that will change the color depending on your preferences. For your information, this mouse is armed with the well-known Razer mechanical switches which are durable enough to withstand up to 50 million clicks, and responsive enough to accurately register every click you make, so I think that you will love having a mouse of this caliber. Now, let's take a look at the specs. Well, the Mamba Hyperflux packs a 5G optical sensor with 16,000 dpi range, a tracking speed of up to 450 inches per second, and when we add its weight of 96 grams, it means that this mouse is simply ideal for fast-paced games. Moving on, this particular model comes with the Firefly Hyperflux pad which does a highly effective job in distributing the power directly to the mouse, while completely erasing the need for having a battery, which is absolutely fantastic. I would also like to inform you that those who've been using this mouse as a primary arsenal for gaming, have reported us that they had an indeed enjoyable gaming experience because the mouse performs smoothly, and it is insanely accurate, so each glide you make on the pad's surface will be effectively captured like you always wanted. But that's not all. The included mouse mat is dual-sided, or even better said, has soft and hard sides so you can use each of them according to your desires and leave the rest to the mouse itself who will be doing its job exactly as it should. Overall, the Mamba Hyperflux is a must-have option, so give it a try and assure yourself of its potential. Next up, at number 3, we have the Razer DeathAdder Elite. The Razer DeathAdder Elite has been on the market for a couple of years, but even today, it is still among the most purchased gaming mice on the market, so stick with me for the next couple of minutes in order to have a clue what's the secret behind its success. Speaking of the design, the DeathAdder Elite boasts an attractive yet exceptionally ergonomic construction that is accompanied by rubber side grips that will provide you with a greater control over the mouse, a left-click button, a scroll wheel, a right-click button, yet 4 more buttons of which 2 are positioned on the side while the other 2 are positioned beneath the scroll wheel, so when you see it as a whole, this mouse does really look nicely engineered. Furthermore, what got my attention regarding the switches is the fact that the left and the right click buttons have a grooves for your fingers to rest, and this is quite useful if you ask me, due to the fact that you can have a comfortable gameplay while being incredibly quick in terms of movement. For your information, the switches aren't only responsive but they are durable as well. As a matter of fact, since Razer rates them to withstand up to 50 million clicks, I'm not surprised that this mouse is heavily in demand. When it comes to the sensor, this unit houses the so-called 5G optical sensor, which has a tracking speed of up to 450 inches per second, a resolution of 99.4%, and a DPI that ranges up to 16,000 in 100 DPI increments. So if we analyze these specs, without a doubt I can say that for the money you pay, this mouse is simply fantastic. Last but not least, I'd recommend you take an advantage of the Razer Synapse software as well, because it has many interesting features, including an option to adjust its programmable buttons to suit your style, and choose from the 16.8 million colors to maximize your gaming experience. Overall, I'd recommend you consider the DeathAdder Elite seriously, and if you ever decide to purchase it, I'm sure that you will never regret that decision. Moving on, at number 2, we have the Razer Lancehead. The Razer Lancehead is without a doubt one of the best mice that Razer has ever created, due to the fact that this mouse has everything that a typical gamer could want, starting from a highly responsive sensor, a stellar design, and a reliable wireless performance. So if you've been looking for something similar, then congratulations, you've found it. In terms of the design, the Lancehead features an ergonomic construction that is suitable for both left and right-handed users due to the fact that each side is symmetrical, so as you can see, this mouse can accommodate a wide variety of users without any problem. On the top, there are 2 thin buttons with a textured scroll wheel that sits in between, yet 2 thin buttons that will let you raise or lower the DPI sensitivity, while on the sides, you can instantly notice the 2 buttons that sit on the rubberized surface, which is something that I absolutely favor, considering the fact that you can have an indeed stable grip. For your information, the switches are extremely responsive, and they do not require a noticeable effort at all, and for instance, if you're playing FPS games, aiming and shooting will be butter easy, so for now, I don't have any remarks. In addition, one of the most notable things regarding this mouse is its 5G laser sensor that will offer you a 16,000 DPI rate, a tracking of 210 IPS, and 50 G of acceleration, which by default means that you will have an advantage over your enemies since you can shoot indeed quickly. Another great thing about this unit is its battery life that can offer you about 24 hours of use according to the Razer, but to be honest, this may vary in practice since everything depends on your use, whether you've turned on the lighting and more. Before we end, I'd like to add one more thing, and that's the Razer Synapse software, which has an intuitive user interface, and numerous features of which you can take an advantage, including options for assigning macros, adjusting the sensitivity and lighting and more. To conclude, if you're looking for a reliable, wireless mouse that looks as good as it performs, then this is the one for you. And finally, at number 1, we have the Razer DeathAdder Expert. The Razer DeathAdder Expert would be an excellent option for you, especially if you want to invest in an esports-ready, ergonomic gaming mouse without spending hundreds of dollars. From a design perspective, the DeathAdder Expert has a compact, matte black construction that is followed by textured rubber side grips, which will offer you a stable grip and a better, overall control over the mouse, 2 side buttons, a left-click button, textured scroll wheel and a right-click button, with the Razer's logo sitting on the front center of the unit. The manufacturer has implemented its mechanical mouse switches, which have proven themselves as a top choice, due to the fact that they are unbelievably responsive, which is essential for having an appropriate gameplay, since you can respond quickly when you're engaged, so from the very beginning, you will have an advantage over your enemies. According to those who've purchased this product, the surface of the mouse doesn't get sweaty after gaming for a prolonged period of time, but what's also great is the presence of the 4G optical sensor that offers a DPI rate of 6400, meaning that you can always switch between fast or slow speeds, so as you can see, this mouse has all the attributes of a professional-grade gaming mouse. Moving on, the DeathAdder Expert has a tracking speed of up to 200 inches per second, a 50 grams acceleration, and the sensor can provide an accurate Z-axis tracking to up to 1 mm, on a variety of surfaces, so I really have to admit that Razer did an excellent job here. I would also like to inform you that you can take an advantage of the Razer Synapse software that will drastically enhance your user experience, due to the fact that you can set up numerous individual profiles where each of them will have different commands for extra buttons, quickly assign macros, and tailor the lightings. Before we end, I'd like to add one more thing, and that's the fact that this mouse is suitable for both palm-style grip and claw-style users. Overall, you should definitely consider the DeathAdder Expert as your next purchase, because it looks and performs majestically. Thanks for watching, I hope you liked this video. If this video was helpful to you, please remember to leave a like and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this in the future, and if you have any questions related to these Razer mice, you can leave a comment down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can.